Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a flip through to share of my latest completed journal. This is the journal and it is chunky. I think I'm going to be, just to warn you, I'm going to be a little more chatty than usual because I really want to explain all the details and point out all the elements that come from other creators' shops and also the inspiration behind the things inside. So I hope you don't mind, and please bear with me while I'm filming my second video in English for a very long time. I feel I'm a bit rusty, but yeah, we'll just go with it. And thank you if you're still on my channel and still checking out my videos. That means a lot to me, and that encourages me to continue and put the energy into filming. Yeah, so here's the journal. As you can see, this was made out of a repurposed antique French photo album. This idea of using these photo album covers come from a channel that I recently discovered and that has been very inspirational to me. And I'm going to link everybody that I mention. I'm going to link their social media in the description if you want to check them out. And this person is Tonya from Scribbles in Time, and she makes the most intricate, like beautiful, eclectic, grungy junk journals, and I've been binge watching her videos, and this gave me so much inspiration to create my latest collection, because actually this journal is part of a collection that I'm calling my fall collection. So I just wanted to say thank you to her for inspiring me to use this cover and actually use it in that way, because she explained that to attach her cover, she drilled holes into the cover. That I was not able to do, but I did stitch through the cover. The leather that you can see here was sent to me by Maria, my friend Maria at J'adore le papier. She sent me a huge box last year of wonderful goodies and supplies. So these were leather that she sent me. She sent me samples, so I just decided which color went better with the covers and tore these to create a more grungy look, and added these vintage French buttons. And actually, this piece that you can see here, this is also inspired by Tonya, because she uses some like lace stitched pieces. I just took a piece of linen, like fine linen, and stitched all kinds of laces together onto that linen. I don't know if it makes sense. And then I just just use it here. So on this side, on the back here, I just here there are some stitching, so I just covered it. I didn't want to put buttons because it would be annoying to, like, it wouldn't lay flat, so I did some stitching, and then I just added these pieces of handmade lace applique onto them to kind of hide them a little bit. Anyways, very chunky, and when you actually take all the ephemera out, it lays flat. This book was mainly intended to be an art journal, I think, because there are so many handmade papers and like mixed media papers throughout. Of course, I had to put my French papers as well. So you can collage or put some gesso on top, and then just do your drawings and your stuff. So what else on the cover? I don't have a closure, like I didn't put a ribbon or something because I thought it didn't go well with the vibe of this journal. So there's just this vintage crocheted doily or that you can attach here, and with this pin. And this pin is actually made by an artist and also an IG friend of mine. Her name is Sylviane, and she has an Instagram account named Bleu d'Orage, and she made this gorgeous pin. She handmade this, and she actually added this laundry trim with her initials. And yeah, I purchased this from her shop, and I just wanted to add this here as a closure for this beautiful journal. I also made this bookmark out of a piece here that I had left over from that lace stitched piece that I made. And so here you can see the linen that I stitch all the laces onto. So and I love that there's this little button here. I just left it as is because it's so cute. And then this was the actual spine of the photo album. And what I did is actually these rectangles here, I cut them out. They were stacked together, you know. And so that was the width of this spine here. And you can see I added a lot more. Now, before I go into the actual flip through, I just wanted to show you also the goodies that are hanging. And so in between the spine, in between the signatures, sorry, I did add some trims. So this is one of those, or maybe this is a loose one. Yeah, I think this is a loose one, sorry. But there's a piece of lace here. And this is one that is in between signature. And I just attached a vintage key here. And this was eco-dyed trim that I purchased. These pearls I also purchased from a shop on Etsy. It came in a bundle of kind of earthy toned pearls and like glass, not pearls, beads, sorry. This you'll see, well actually you can see it here. This was part of a belt, and so I thought it was super pretty, so I cut it and I just let it hang in between the pages as well. Now there is this is from the signature, and I attached this button. I think it adds to the grungy look to the journal, so I just added this and repurposing things. And then there's this, we call them fèves in French. I will try to look it up like to find the word in English, but these are very old and made out of ceramic kind of. So this is a bird, and I just attached it very well. It's not going anywhere, and it's just hanging here with all those grungy little things. Okay. Now onto the actual flip through. So inside you can see I lined it. Well, this is actually the piece of old linen piece that I sewn the signature onto. These are the buttons. This is, as I said, I stitched through the cover, and then on the other side I just added some buttons to decorate the inside. I left the paper that was onto the covers because it has kind of a shiny effect to it, and it's really pretty. I've also tucked some ephemera that I made, and this is a very old photo postcard. This is French, and I just added, like, I stitched, as you can see it's tiny, but I stitched some beads, some glass beads onto the frame, and I thought it was very pretty. It's really time consuming, but it's, I don't know, it gives a special look to the picture. Handmade paper. This has quite of a beige tint to it. I don't know if it's showing well on the camera, but it's handmade paper, and yeah, it's so beautiful. I think I got it from a shop that is called Beastiesandbotanicals on Etsy. And here you can sketch, you can draw, you can, this is heavyweight paper, so you can, I think you can do mixed media on it. Beautiful French mechanical lace, lots of coffee dyed papers. You can write. I used some of these, I have some old stamps that I never use, and so I used this one. I'm just going to show you everything. So that's the one. It's just a vintage stamp, and the stamping is not very well made, but it's here and it gives a little bit of a grungy look. Some music sheets, and here I just added a piece of French school notebook page, so you can write on top. Some ledger, of course, some French ledger. This is a gorgeous like beaded trim with some tulle. This I got from a shirt that I thrifted. I thought it was so pretty, all the details, so much work was put into this, so I wanted to use it for my crafts. And you will see I added another piece in the journal that is loose and that you can use anywhere in the journal. But it was so fragile that I put a piece of handmade paper underneath to kind of secure it. And this is the other side of this ledger page. And I just added some scraps here and there to add some interest to the pages, and also a little bit of journaling space. Of course, I had to add some authentic French ephemera. This is a Grimoire advertisement card. And then I just attached this little dangly piece here. It's just a little stone. This is a glassine bag. I wanted to feel some like different texture and crinkly sounds. And inside is just this little handmade, I don't know, it can be a journaling card. It's also a little pocket here. And this is all coffee dyed, and I included this. It's not a real photograph, and it came in a book, so, but I just like the colors. And that is tucked inside here, and you can see the ex libris picking out here. This is some beautiful vintage wallpaper that I received in a Happy Mail a long time ago. Some handmade French lace, and then this is part of a Thierry et Cartier-Bresson box of thread box, and I think I used the other part. I don't know if it's in that journal or another one, but I had this piece left, and you can see there are some nice details, and I just used it as a little tuck spot. This is a lace trim, old lace trim, and this is just hanging, like it's not attached or anything. You can use it somewhere else if you'd like to. An old blood paper that came into a calendar book, and it's very grungy. It has a lot of beautiful staining. This is some handmade paper. This is from Beastiesandbotanicals for sure. I just glued this little tape here, and some of the pages I reinforced with fabric pieces. You know, especially these handmade papers, because when you fold them, they kind of tear apart. So I just added some reinforcement here also. This is some handmade washi tape. This is some eco-dyed actually. It came from a shop on Etsy as well that is called Antiquewardrobefinds, I think. Piece of like corduroy velvet. This is the center of the first signature. Coffee dyed paper. You can see the eco dyed like the eco prints here. And this is the other side of this block paper. This is a beautiful piece. that I received from Maria, and I just stitched it onto the wallpaper and added this gorgeous button. This is a very old button, and you can see it has some Art Nouveau like floral details here. It's a very old button. I think it's from around the 1920s. A little target for mixed media, maybe. Of course, you can remove all those things if you don't want them into this journal. Onto the X-ray, I think it's called now. I added this flower, this plant that I found in a very old French book. And I just added some, some adhesive, like transparent, so you can see that it's here, but it's stuck to the page. I also added this little thing here, this stationary bit here on the side. Some ledger with the same piece of embroidered applique here. I just added this ephemera. This is a postcard, it's blank. The other side of this beautiful grungy coffee dyed paper, and this beige handmade paper. And this is the other part of that shirt that I was talking about, like the beaded trim. This was also on the shirt, and I thought it was so pretty. And I just added it without attaching it, so that you can actually use it wherever you want. And here, we come to the second signature, and you can see this is where I put the key with the eco, I think it's rusted and eco dyed, and it actually runs through the signature, but you can easily remove it. You just have to untie the key here and then slide the trim. Inside this little vintage vellum envelope, we have photographs. Also for your, I don't know, if you're collaging. I just love the format of these photos. They're small and pretty. This is the second signature. Here, this is some mixed media paper, and I also added some lace to reinforce it. This is an old spine that I stitched onto this, like on the side, and we have some. This is some Yahtzee game paper card. I don't know how you call that. A little handwritten note. This is coffee dyed. This is Indian trim that I thought was really pretty, and I just added this on the side. An old vintage postcard from 1938. This is some old, like, vintage stationery. Here, there's some, this is avocado dyed paper, and I just added this card here, and I added it as an add-on with this piece of, like, ticking, French ticking, I believe it is. These pieces I got from Maria, and I just added, writing here, and tucked these two ephemera. This is a menu from 1935. I love that it's so small and kind of worn and grungy. And this is a business card, I believe, like a name card. I don't know how you call that, but this came from the US, and I got this in a Happy Mail a long time ago. And I just love the colors together. Just a little bit of collages. This is another type of handmade paper, and I added this beautiful, this is handmade and very old, fine French trim. And so I just glued it on top and bottom, and added this this card here, this photo of a soldier. This is a French photograph, CDV. This, because it's handmade, I reinforced it with some vintage fabric. Here we have some journaling space. This I just recently coffee dyed a bunch of these cards, so you can put some additional writing. And this is a beautiful postcard that I received in an order. it's actually on a very beautiful, printed on a very beautiful paper. It has some grain, and this is a map of the world, very vintage looking. We have a vintage doily here. I just attached this little bead here, and this is some scrapbooking paper. A little bit of grungy with this, I don't know, I don't remember the name, but I just put some gesso and added this piece of old wallpaper. And this I got from Nina's shop, Donkey's Journal, I think, from Norway. I think you all know her shop, but I will put it down below. So I bought some pieces of this beautiful wallpaper, and I just love the fall colors. And added a piece here. Oh, and the other side of the scrapbook paper, the designer paper. This is some straw paper. This I got when I went to Palermo. I made it into a pocket and added another of these cards with a little bit of old floral cotton fabric. Handmade paper. This is part of an old French envelope. Let me see if I can find a date. Yes, it's from the 20s. Yeah, 21. Just great for collaging. Lots of pieces that you can actually remove. These are French ephemera notes. This one is from 1920. This was the actual belt that I was talking about earlier. So it was much longer, as you can imagine, and I just cut this piece with this dangling thing, and it just is here, like it just lays here, but you can of course do something else with it. The center of the signature, and this is a handmade paper clip that Maria sent to me in the Happy Mail, and I added this one because I love the flower here picking out, and the colors went so well with this journal. So that's here. A bit of eco-dyed fabric, calendar, a small calendar, French calendar book page, handmade paper. This is the other side of the straw kind of bag, and this also came from Nina's shop. Scrap piece. And this is another of my handmade ephemera piece. This is a cabinet card from France, and I just added this collage. So I stitched these pieces. You know, sometimes you find small bits and pieces that you don't really know what to do with, and so what I like to do is to use them in my handmade ephemera piece. So here we have it was a broken kind of pendant, or maybe, I don't know, it had a hole here, but it's mother of pearl, and then just some small random things, and it's all hand stitched and onto this beautiful French lace collage. Little tuck spot made out of an old torn photograph. This I just added because of the color, just add a pop of color. And this is just a little tag that I made with an old key, some coffee dyed cheesecloth, and scrapbooking paper. This is, I don't know, this I found in my stash, and it's just like, not a clothing, but yeah, maybe a clothing like tag or something. I just glued it onto this page. These I love to collage. This is a little bit like these pieces here. You always get some small collage, like some small paper bits, and these came from, you know, from old spool, thread spool, and I didn't want to throw that away because it has some beautiful design. So I just glued it onto the page, just add a little bit of interest. Handmade paper, avocado dyed paper. I just stapled this snap card, I don't know. And we have a cigarette card, English one. This one I purchased from a brocante. Another piece that was added to the page was some old fabric. This one was also coffee dyed, and you can write on it. This, I'm seeing a lot of artists that are making these kind of ink samples, and I have one bottle of ink, and I just made my own onto this antique French book page, and I don't know, I just stapled that here. You can actually, if you don't want it like this, you can actually tear some parts and add it as a collage piece into your journal. This is also a tiny piece that I didn't want to throw away, because this was part of an antique book spine. And we have a little pendant here that is attached with this pin, and this is just hand stitched onto this mixed media page. Another, oh, this one is actually attached in between. You cannot remove this piece of lace, but you can attach some pins here and there. So this is the third and final signature. I forgot to mention that there are 3 signatures inside this book, and each signature has 10 pages, so 70 sides to write in, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm mistaken. 4 x 3, 12. No, 120, sorry. 120 sides for crafting. And okay, so in between we have this pouch this came as a gift when I purchased these eco-dyed, eco-printed pieces of fabric. I just love the stamping. Yeah, and I added some scraps. So handmade paper, mixed media paper, all sorts of scraps that I had left. This is also one of these ink samples. But this time I tried it onto some baking paper and some designer paper. This is actually a little pad. So that goes in here. Third and final signature, another type of handmade paper. I secured the paper with some burlap fabric, I think. And also another little dangly piece onto this, and handmade washi tape. And this is just I don't know, it was part of a box, an old stationery box, I think. This is a piece of old French fabric, and this is a tuck spot, so I just added this. This is an antique religious from 1904, French religious ephemera. This I thought was kind of cool. It's an old, like, craft paper bag, and initially it had some bottle labels, some wine bottle labels, but I just tucked that inside here. This is a vintage order form. Oh, and here we have the little, this is a, wire, and with this little, I don't know what it is. I think it was supposed to be on hats or something. Here we have another of Maria's beautiful handmade clip. This is some old notary, like deed, French deed page. This I'm going to show you where it came from, because I'm not sure what it is. I have no idea, but this came from this, like, Remington brand. Business equipment, machines and system. I don't know what it is, what it's supposed to be. But I have these two. I have the bright pink one, and then a yellow one, and I'm just gonna use them in crafts. I love the pop of color here. This is some scrapbook paper, a piece of ephemera. This is some very beautiful old French, like, trim. This I got from Sylviane as well. And you have a little coin here. It's a lucky coin. And this is actually an old franc, like a French franc. So, the money I used to have when I was a kid. We had these. This is 5 cents before euros, I mean. So this I actually found in my house. Like, I don't know, I think it came from the old owners. But yeah, I just tucked it here. There's some black paper. This is some handmade paper, another type, with this stationery kind of clip, piece of coffee dyed paper, this beige colored handmade paper with a little tab here, wallpaper that came from my French grandmother's house. There's a little receipt here, beautiful 1930s ledger, French ledger, with this fine lace tab. The fold out with a journaling card. This I made into, this is a little notepad I made with some vintage papers and a vintage card of something like I don't know, but I thought it was fun. Can add some little notes here. This is, I put some brads here to attach this piece of lace. The other side of this handmade paper, eco-dyed fabric. This is a handmade card. This was made in 2021, and I wrote here found objects, and I remember well, I did that while I was at my parents' house and I had no supplies and I wanted to craft something, so I went outside and just tried to find things on the road, and I found these two things and just decided to use what I had in hand. So I had coffee, I had paper, they had papers, and acrylic ink, black one. So I took a leaf outside and just did some prints with the leaf, and they had coffee, and my mom is sewing, so she had she had some scraps and stuff. So that was the card that I made, and just wanted to put that inside here. I think it goes well with the journal, and yeah, I just wanted to find a home for this piece I made a while back. These two handmade papers, you can see that the grain here is not the same, so I guess that's interesting to make your art, different things on different types of papers. This is just a belly band. I attached it with some buttons, vintage French buttons, and this beautiful photograph here is tucked in here. Just some random ephemera for your collages. A tuck spot here with an old religious ephemera from 1913. And on this side we have a small rusty key. It's so cute. And this is an applique here. And the other side of the pages in the back. Whew. Okay, so this was the flip through. I'm sorry if it's too long for you to watch, but I really wanted to take the time to, explain everything, and because I really enjoyed making this one, and I just want to show you that I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is part of a collection, my fall collection, and in this fall collection I have two journals like this. It's going to be a little bit grungy. As I said, I've had some inspiration from great crafters, and it's just something I want to try out, and I think I'm going to make some small junky journals with these two. And I have also a large, I think it's going to be one of my biggest journals I've ever created, and it doesn't even go in frame, but it's going to be a very big and grungy journal. Yeah, it's not done at all, but I just wanted to show you how it's going to look like a little bit. And I think I'm going to post this one for sale maybe this weekend on my Etsy shop, and I will put the link down below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. I really love it. I think it's I think this is more of my style than the things that I usually make, because the colors are more like, I just love the colors more, and there's this kind of rusty, grungy feel to it that I really enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. And thank you so much if you made it until the end. And yeah, have a great day, and I will see you soon with the flip through of the 3 other journals. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.